Je crois pouvoir dire qu'elle est aussi un peu.
I can say the Notre-Dame cathedral is being reinvented by those who work daily because it will be as we've never seen her before in our lifetime.
Et on le voit avec ces pierres.
And we can see with those stones the French know-how and the craftspeople mobilized here are capable of.
Ça faire. Donc je suis très heureux d'abord de pouvoir.
I'm very happy to be able to witness the consideration, this token of appreciation for the teams involved in the reconstruction of Notre-Dame. And in this period during which we're leaving COVID, there's a war in Europe. Everything is difficult. It's also a testimony of hope that corresponds to this period. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's coming back to life.
Desperate screams on the streets of Shanghai as residents protest the prospect of having COVID-19 isolation facilities so close to their home. In a video obtained by Reuters, people wearing hazmat suits with the word police on their back could be seen scuffling with other people outside a housing compound on Thursday. The owners of the compound said authorities had converted 5 of its vacant buildings into isolation facilities, and it had been advised a further 9 buildings would be converted. It said it had moved 39 tenants to rooms in other parts of the compound and had offered compensation to them. But still, locals are furious. They say they're worried about being put at increased risk of infection.
All of us here are residents who abide by the law. We want to do something for the country. We are willing to do something for the country. But now you want to place infected patients with high transmissibility rates less than 20 meters away from some residential areas. What do you want us, the common folk, to do?
Shanghai has become the epicenter of China's largest outbreak since the virus was first identified, recording more than 300,000 COVID infections since March. And while the Chinese public has been largely supportive of the country's zero-COVID policy, their patience seems to be wearing thin as the highly contagious Omicron variant emerges in China, triggering curbs that have brought food shortages, family separations, lost wages, and economic pain. In locked-down Shanghai, many streets are empty, with storefronts closed. Under China's zero-COVID policy, everyone who tests positive must quarantine at designated sites, and the neighbors are asked to isolate in their homes for 14 days. Some residents have expressed frustration on social media over the difficulties in getting food and poor conditions at central quarantine facilities. Footage provided to Reuters on Thursday by an occupant of a facility showed people crammed into what looked like an office building. The person who filmed the video, who declined to be identified, said there were at least 200 people there, including young children, adding there were no showers and just 4 shared toilets.
Twitter on Friday adopted a limited-duration shareholder rights plan to protect itself from billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk's $43 billion cash takeover offer. Musk on Thursday hinted at the possibility of a hostile bid in which he would bypass Twitter's board and put the offer directly to its shareholders. Under the plan, also known as a poison pill strategy, the company could flood the market with new shares if anyone acquires 15% or more of Twitter's stock without board approval. On Thursday, Musk took aim at Twitter, saying the social media company needs to be taken private to grow and to become a platform for free speech. And while Musk's bid may take a page out of Warren Buffett's take it or leave it playbook, investment bankers, investors, and analysts say he needs a blowout bid and more details in his financing for this strategy to work. And they said Musk has a track record of reversing his positions, a trait that clouds his aim to buy Twitter. Wedbush Securities analyst Daniel Ives said Musk's move would set in motion events that will likely see Twitter being sold one way or another.
If the board says no, as a fiduciary, they'll be eating lawsuits for breakfast. So this is going to force the board to do a strategic process, look for another bid. But this, in my opinion, is the current Twitter story with the clock striking midnight. One way or another, we believe the company is going to be sold.
On Friday, Thoma Bravo, a technology-focused private equity firm, informed Twitter that it is exploring the possibility of putting together a bid, people familiar with the matter said. Meanwhile, inside Twitter, a source told Reuters CEO Paraj Agrawal sought to reassure employees during an all-hands meeting on Thursday that the company was not being, quote, held hostage by news of Elon Musk's offer to buy the company. Still, it's not clear how much cash Musk has available for a Twitter bid, and he provided no details about his financing in a regulatory filing on Thursday. And while news of his bid thrilled his fans on social media, his offer sparked concerns among Tesla investors and analysts that the electric car maker could suffer as the chief executive becomes distracted by his takeover play and the possible sales of Tesla shares to fund the deal. Also, Tesla observers are worried about the prospect of Musk overseeing yet another company, in addition to SpaceX, brain chip startup Neuralink, and tunneling venture The Boring Company.
In a brightly lit pink studio surrounded by crystals, fortune teller Suthasini Pan Fifat picks 3 cards from a deck and turns to her customers via a live stream to tell them the reading. She's among a group of 7,000 online fortune tellers at Aduang, a startup whose fortune-telling application has seen a sharp increase in the number of users.
From
what I gather, there have been more questions about careers compared to before, where it would mainly be about love and relationships. Since the pandemic, I've had twice the amount of questions about careers, about an 80 to 90% increase.
Thai culture has long been steeped in astrology and forms of divination, such as palm reading, tarot cards, or numerology. But due to social distancing rules, many have turned online to continue their work. And with Thailand's anxiety-gripped young experiencing soaring levels of stress, from the health crisis to concerns over job prospects, many are putting their faith in fortune-telling. Jom Kwan Lung Lu, a board member of the Thai Psychological Association, says that among Thai youth, stress levels have reached a breaking point. Mainstream business brands are also recognizing the new Thai psychic entrepreneurs as the key to the growing market of young believers with disposable income.